Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. We are here today to talk about leading with purpose, vision setting for a transformational year. I am Dr. Mishkat Al Mumin. I'm the brand ambassador with Quarantine Racism. You can find me on LinkedIn at Mishkat Al Mumin. My YouTube channel is available to you too, The Communication of Success, and I will be launching a new series called Leading Without Permission. My Substack is available to you too at Dr. Mishkat, and I post informative article that includes activities and takeaways. So, without further ado, let's get started. Why vision matters more than ever. So, why now? Vision isn't a statement, it's a compass. It's something that guides you. And without that guidance, you will be lost. In changing times, such as now, you need that compass more than ever. A little bit about my background. I led through war zones. Leading through war zones can have only two outcomes. Either it will break you down or it will build you up. And I chose to build myself up through resiliency, through being able to lead with vision. It's not about predicting the future. It's about learning and building that future together as a team. And I will be sharing more about my experience with you. But for now, I just want you to know that I have survived more than three major wars in my lifetime. So you need to create the conditions for a better future for you, for your team, for your students. And here is the truth: if you don't do it, no one else will do it. Furthermore, if you don't do it and take the lead on it, someone else may create a totally different future for you, and you might not like what they have created. This academic year, I want us to create transformational goals, not just a checklist. Checklists remind me of the new year. During the New Year celebrations, we all say, like, we will do this, we will do that, I will exercise more, I will, get in shape. And before you know it, those checklists, they end up just being a piece of paper in a drawer. And we don't want to do that this year. We want to set transformational goals and achieve them, accomplish them. How? By developing a vision together. So let's start with a purpose. For me personally, I have written laws, built departments, and led programs across borders. But every time, success starts with one question: what impact do I want to have? And who do I need to become to create it? You see, oftentimes we talk about change being something difficult that we dread. It's not about changing things for the sake of changing. It's not about changing for hoping to achieve better results. It's about creating better conditions and a better environment to have a better future for you, for your teams, and your students. So it's a creation, it's not just change. Here is the truth: you don't need a permission to start, you need clarity. You need to visualize what the future would look like and start building it stone by stone, brick by brick. Futures are not just happen, they are built. And it's up to you, to me, to the academic community to build it. And again, if we don't do it, then who will do it? And w- will we like the results? Also, is that us? Is that the academic community that we look forward to, for us to just receive what others would give us? I personally don't think so. I think we are creators by nature. Those who invest in the academic community, those who teach day in and day out, they are creators. They are architectures. They are not just providers or, you know, uh, y- content deliverers. We are creators. So we need to create the future that we all want. If we don't set these goals, if we don't invest in creating that future, then we are letting ourselves down more than anything else. Transforming adversity into opportunity. As I told you, I have lived through wars, but that just kind of an overall umbrella. I want you to visualize with me that in August of 2004, I survived an assassination attempt over my life. I did not step down, I stepped forward. What I mean by that is I supported vulnerable communities, regardless of race, ethnicity, gender, and background. I was there to provide them with services when no one else wanted to, including water services. I was the Minister of Environment, and it didn't sit well with me that half of the city of Baghdad, the country between two rivers, was dying out of thirst and no one was able to do anything. So I engaged the community around providing water services, and I led 5 campaigns. After the second one, I was personally attacked. I continue to deliver these services, and I do have thank you notes from community members who said these campaigns saved them from dying out of thirst. The same resiliency guided me during COVID 19. I supported more than 250 students, all were service members, to complete their studies online. I made myself available starting 7 a.m. I was on my teams, conducting training sessions with them, one on one sessions with them, and helping them to accomplish their roles, regardless of time zones, time differences, whatever the case was. I was available for them. What adversity can do to your leadership style is this: you need to reflect on it. And by reflection, I don't mean to perceive yourself as a victim. And it's so easy to feel victimized. Perhaps you are. I was a victim. Maybe everyone, who experienced adversity felt like a victim. But the thing is, you need to own it and then leverage it. That's the other part. Rather than being consumed by victimhood, rise above it. Find something in it that you can cultivate to teach others how to rise through adversity. The first step is to set goals that move people, not just metrics. Oftentimes we get, lost in numbers and in data. And as a researcher, I value them. But nevertheless, data and numbers, they need to tell a story. I worked in an organization, small nonprofit here in Reno, Nevada. And when I reviewed their strategic plan, everything was, set around numbers. We have to reach out to that many teachers. We have to engage that many students. But what was lost in these metrics was the why. So, why I need to reach to 100 teachers? What's the theme, the strategy, the concept that I'm trying to develop through that process? And after consulting with the team and having several meetings and several discussions, together we discovered that we were trying to promote early workforce development. So we were taking students to learn about sustainable and STEM businesses in the region. They visit these businesses, they explore the behind the scenes operations, not to have fun, but to develop the mindset of uh, engaging and becoming a member of that industry, the STEM industry. So it was, evolving around developing work skills as early as the ninth grade. Vision aligned goals. So, what do we mean by that? Remember, earlier we talked about building the future together. To build the future, we need to have a vision. To create a vision, you need goals that align with that particular vision. Important step to create a vision is to build trust. Before you invest in tools and platforms and buy things, you need to create and build trust among your team members. How to do that? There are many ways to accomplish that goal, but it starts with active listening. When I shared with you that story about how we as a team discovered that our purpose was early workforce development, it didn't come because, as a leader, I dictated it. It came after listening to the team, engaging in activities such as team building, reset activity, conducting meetings, and most importantly, having open door policy. An open door policy does not mean that, there are no guidance to meet with the leaders, but it means that the leader is available to the team to listen to them, not to judge them. You see, oftentimes when the leader got engaged in something, such as learning about an incident or, reviewing program evaluations, by nature, as a leader, you start to develop some sort of a judgment on the situation. What I'm asking you to do is to set that judgment aside for now and just listen to your team. Ask reflective questions. Listen to them as a peer more than as a leader. And then from there, together, develop a goal that you want to achieve with them, not for them. That means you have to elevate others as you rise. And believe me, I'm not approaching this as a naive leader. I have elevated others who decided that they need to, you know, take my role as a leader. And what I said and continue to say, leadership is not about titles. If I'm the executive director, and they'd like to be an executive director, I'm fine with that. I'll be the first one to cheer them up. There is a higher position waiting for me, chief executive director. There are endless opportunity for me and for them. So I don't want you to approach elevating others with a sense of competitiveness. I want you to think about it as an opportunity for you to mentor others. Mentorship is very rewarding to the mentor before the mentee because you get to learn from those whom you mentored. Whether you develop lessons learned, takeaways, create tools for mentoring, it's really a very rewarding process. The most important thing, and it ties these bullet points together. To build trust and elevate others, you need to create a safe space, which means when something fails, punishment is not the first action. And believe me, I have seen punishment in many ways, starting from finger pointing, starting from, throwing someone under the bus. You've named it, I have seen it and experienced it. But the success story always comes from a place of safety. If you create a safe environment where people can be held accountable, you see, punishment is different from accountability. You can and you should hold people accountable, but it doesn't mean that you should rush to punish them or cast some sort of a judgment on them. Learning from the mistakes means or starts with accountability. If someone did something that was wrong, not right, you need to allow them the opportunity to own it and then fix it. In a way, I'm pushing for a restorative justice approach to conducting business. Rather than punishment, you need to amend, fix the situation. What damage was done, and how can we amend it and restore the situation to how it was before? Team goals need to be aligned with shared values, not just benchmarks. If you talk about sustainability, if you talk about accountability, transparency, and then your goals are totally different. You talk about transparency, but no one knows what's in the budget, and the budget is totally secretive. No one can see it or learn what's in it. That's not a true goal here. And This approach does not support the shared values. Values, and I have seen, hundreds and hundreds of websites for organizations and institutions, and they talk about shared values. But how can we put these shared values into practice? That's the question. You do that through alignment. Align the goals with the shared values. So the goal will be kind of the pathway to uphold the value. And you have to start from self. So I used to have a colleague who, would hold, he was a leader of a department. He would hold every teacher accountable except himself. So, whatever he asked team members to do, he was the first to violate it. It put the entire department on turmoil. Every teacher was questioning why they should do this while the head of the department was exempt from it. It ended up, really hurting the relationship between the teachers, the department chair, the dean of the school. So, starting from self is key. Whatever you ask your team to do, you have to be the first to do it. I have some tools that are available, for you to consider. I publish a newsletter every Sunday on LinkedIn, and you are more than welcome to review it for free. As I said, I have my YouTube channel. You can subscribe for free. I have a lot of videos discussing the consequences of bullying, favoritism in the workplace, and how to address it. I provide strategies for each problem on what to do and how to address the issue. For Substack, I also provide tools and strategies. So I explore the concept, the leadership concept, the educational concept, and then I provide activities, clear cut with the steps to complete so as you can achieve those goals. And again, here is my LinkedIn as well. I publish reflections, takeaways, lessons learned every Sunday, and you are more than welcome to review all of that for free. I would encourage you to subscribe to stay informed and to receive all of these activities for you to try. And I would also encourage you to make them yours. If there are tweaks, that you'd like to introduce, please feel free to. And you can comment and let me know how it went, or if you'd like to see, a video about a certain topic, an article about an issue or an activity related to a certain academic or educational concept. So these are not just platforms, if you excuse me. I want you to think of these resources as classrooms, and please use them and feel free to share them as well. I also want to direct your attention to a couple of opportunities that are available to you right now. So if you go to donorschoice.org, You can get funding as a teacher. If your class needs something, you can use the platform to apply for a grant. Personally, I have raised more than $70 million in programs in post war Iraq. I also raised 150K in 1 year for rural women in Iraq. Last year, I secured 46K in under 9 months for STEM programs. And this platform is one of the platforms that I encourage you to use. If you have a vision and you need to fund it, I'm more than happy to help you write a grant. There is a lot of funding available out there, and you can use that to fund your programs and provide for your classrooms. So we together, we can turn purpose into programs. At Quarantined Racism, we have educational courses, professional learning opportunities to empower yourself, to equip your classroom with strategies, with knowledge to help you build equitable, racially equitable classroom and relationship with your students. The classes are for 297, and that's for the basic course. And you can learn more about these courses by visiting the website, and the link is provided here for you. Please ask your administrator at your school to buy the course for you. And again, if you need to get funding, we can write a grant to apply for funding and purchase these courses. The course has been approved in 5 states as a professional learning opportunity that is credited, so you can claim credit for it. And the course is trusted by more than 480 educators. I want to provide you with a reflection activity for your team to start thinking about the vision for this academic year. So let's engage your staff by asking and discussing these questions. What do we want to be known for this year? Do we want to be known as what type of a team? The most accomplished academically, the team that supports the students, the team that applies personalized learning. What is the concept, the value that you want to be known for this year? What beliefs must we embody as a team to lead with purpose? So, what type of a belief that we want to embody? Do we want to embody equality, equity, inclusion? What it is that we want to embody? What is one old habit that we need to release in order to grow? It's very important to identify the beliefs, the habits, the obstacles that are standing in our way. And I want you to think internally, make it an innate process rather than focusing on external situations. Seeing hope is the first step. And I shared with you that I survived wars, not one, but multiple. I didn't do that by just staying safe. I created hope for me and for my students. Under one of the most oppressive regimes known in the late 20th century, which is the Saddam Hussein's regime in Iraq, I taught human rights. The temporary document that the country had at the time, which was called the temporary constitution. It wasn't permanent, it was something temporary because the regime did not like to provide any sorts of rights or acknowledge them. The term human right was not used. Instead, they said individual rights. So we were not recognized as human beings. We were not recognized as citizens. We were just be, we were just being recognized as individuals. And that's it. Most importantly, every second, not every day, every second, these rights were being violated. So the temporary constitution said torture is prohibited, both physically and mentally. Fine. Every single day, there was someone who had been snatched from their home, their workplace, and disappeared. In Iraq, we used to call it that person went behind the sun. A metaphor to say that, first of all, we don't know how they died. Second of all, we know that we will not be able to see them or find them again. Classrooms were being monitored, phone calls monitored, workplaces monitored. You name it, it was monitored. Sometimes when I used to think in my mind, there was a little bit of fear uh, going on, just imagining the reaction of the regime had they know what I was thinking. It was to that limit that the regime was, monitoring every step, every breath, um, intruding on our privacy and our rights as a human being. Our homes were inspected, by the way, just to see if the picture of the beloved leader was put in the place of honor in the house or not. So that was the type of regime that I lived under. Despite all of that, I found hope for myself and for my student, and I taught human rights just to give my student some hope that there is a better system out there. It's true. I talked about the apartheid regime in South Africa, describing how they violate human rights. But the same description applied to what was going on in Iraq at the time. And I had so many students following me saying, Professor, be careful, are worried about you. However, that relatively safe environment enabled me, empowered me, and my students to see a better future, to develop a vision. Even though we didn't talk about it directly, we were always talking in code, we were always trying to rephrase and reframe whatever it was. But we found hope, we found future, we found a vision. And that's what I'm hoping that you will find with your teams and your students. Lastly, the question that I'd like you to consider, um, how about the methodology that you will use to hold each other accountable? And again, um, accountability requires care. It's not about finger pointing, it's not about shaming somebody and blaming them and casting all sorts of doubt on their performance. It's about forging a way forward together as a team. And without accountability, that way cannot be paved. Let's lead boldly, stand fully, and act now. Even though, as I told you, I lived in Iraq, Martin Luther King gave me hope. Dr. King's struggle and, you know, uh, um, push for, civil rights, voting rights, gave me hope that there is a leader out there who had done these things. And just like he did it, maybe I can do something about it. So, from a country that has nothing to do with the US, far, far away from it, Dr. Luther King made me or gave me hope. And until today, I find myself talking to him, consulting with him, asking myself, what would he have done had he been in my shoes? All of that, to say that whatever struggle that your classroom is facing, you can find hope through a vision, through a better future, through working together. So this year, don't just lead, transform. You can invite me to facilitate, train, co create with your team. I will be more than happy to do it. You can make this clear about this year about clarity, courage, and change, transformative change. Feel free again to subscribe to my LinkedIn newsletter, to my YouTube channel, to my Substack. All of that is available to you for free. Definitely enroll in one of the courses at Quarantine Racism. Go to the website, check it out, see if you like something, if something speaks to you. Believe me, even here in the US, I paid a lot of money for my professional development and growth, and I'm still paying. I'm paying to complete my second doctoral degree. And, I find that process rewarding. I look forward to my assignments. I look forward to, the discussion post or to the paper. I feel each time I engage, I grow. Grant writing is available to you upon request. Reach out to me, and I'll be more than happy to help you write a grant to fund whatever activity that you are trying to accomplish. Thank you so much for taking time out of your evening to spend it with me. I'm more than happy to answer any question you might have.